Welcome to Heroes on Our Island. I'm your host, Christine Persichetti. Thanks for joining us. Every week, we bring you inspirational stories of Long Islanders who are making a difference in their communities. On today's show, the Brady Brothers. Entertaining people with their music, enlightening them with their message. Plus, soul survivors stepping up efforts to help those less fortunate. And haircuts for a cause, a new do, and a donation. That's all coming up on Heroes on Our Island. We're coming to you today from Cohen Children's Medical Center in New Hyde Park, where a local band, the Brady Brothers, just wowed the crowd. You'd never know it, but one of the singers is dealing with a condition that could be embarrassing, but he puts himself in the center of attention to spread a message of acceptance and tolerance.
Simmer down, simmer down.
Dylan Brady says he feels most comfortable when he's on stage.
It's what I love to do, as I said. It's like if I'm not singing and not breathing. It's what I'm put on the earth to do.
The 16-year-old from Seacliff is the lead singer of the Brady Brothers, a band he's in with his twin brother Cody.
You're always on my mind.
But there's something else this teen singer does that's just as impressive. He teaches his peers about tolerance and acceptance.
What I tell the kids is everyone's different. I'm different from you. I'm different from you. You're different from me. And if you accept others and accept yourself, that's really all that matters.
One of the things that makes Dylan different from many of the kids he knows is he has Tourette's syndrome.
I knew something was up even when he was 4 years old. He used to do little movements, and I always thought he was had a lot of anxieties, or he seemed to have a lot of anxiety, so I just thought he was sort of a nervous kid.
But Dylan's mom, Nancy, says when he hit puberty, it got worse.
We would be in the car, and this is before he was diagnosed, and he'd be sniffing. Now, I'm not saying he sniffs every once in a while. I'm saying he's clicking, making noises. And all I could think as his parent was I wanted to protect him. And these kids, because I already know how he experienced bullying, now he's going to be doing this, or he's shrugging, he's winking, he's blinking, he's doing that stuff. I thought, how can I protect him? So I then am like, Dylan, you have to stop that.
He couldn't stop it. He had no control over it.
Tics are like, as I said, an itch. It's involuntary to feel that itch, but it's voluntary to do it, but you have to do it. Just like you have to scratch an itch, you have to do that movement or make that sound to make that itch, that tick go away. So, I mean, I know I do it, but like sometimes, like I just winked, sometimes I don't even notice it.
But one tick really got his attention.
I had a tic. I had had it for a few months, like about a year then, where I would like do crunches all day pretty much. It was just like tightening my stomach up, and it was like every second of every minute of the day. It was just like just doing that. And I was just in so much pain. I'd be crying. I'd go to the hospital for it. So that's when I was like, you know what, I want to get this checked out.
It wasn't until just before his 13th birthday that Dylan was actually diagnosed with the condition. He was relieved to finally know why he was doing these things, but there's no cure. In fact, there's not even medication for it.
It's frustrating because I don't want these things. I don't want this pain. It's annoying, it's embarrassing, and it's painful.
And even though excitement and nerves can trigger tics, when he's performing, the tics almost disappear.
Dylan actually, when he plays music, he tics less, and that's actually kind of, it's very cool to me that like when he's kind of in his zone playing, that it doesn't affect him as much.
Say I have like an hour and a half set of music. If in an hour and a half, if I wasn't performing or doing something, maybe I'll tic 300 times. But when I'm on stage in that hour and a half, maybe I'll tic 5 or 6 times.
Same goes for his speaking engagements. As a youth ambassador for the Long Island Tourette's Syndrome Association, Dylan speaks to students at different schools to raise awareness of the condition and has no problem getting in front of hundreds of kids to talk about it.
I've been performing for so many years now, since I was little. I've been singing since I was little. That going from performing to talking about something that I'm comfortable with, something that I'm confident with, it's like it just doesn't faze me, I guess.
Even his dad, a singer and musician who passed on the musical gene to his kids, says he's impressed with Dylan's confidence.
It's such a proud moment because you're realizing here's a young man who's got something that's, socially uncomfortable no matter what age you are. But it's not defining him Actually, maybe it is defining him. It's just not defining him in a negative or adverse way. It's defining him from the standpoint he's like, you know something, I'm going to tell my story, and I'm going to be proud to be who I am and help other people to be proud who they are.
Nancy remembers the first time Dylan opened up to strangers about his Tourette's.
He was phenomenal. John and I kept looking like, who is this child? He just got up there and he just spoke, I think, from his own experience, which is what the best part was. You know, he followed along the way he was supposed to, but he really spoke from what he is. And I think that that's why he was so good, and also he's just confident and he believes what he says.
It's very brave of him, because if most people, when they hear like that they're going to do that, they'd probably cringe that they'd have to go in front of people and talk, let alone talk about a part of you that's maybe it could be a little uncomfortable to talk about, but he just spreads awareness about it and preaches tolerance.
Now all of my friends say it's not really worth it.
And when he's not preaching tolerance, he's putting smiles on people's faces by performing for them. This Brady Brothers concert was a special one.
I actually have cancer and I had a tumor in my leg, and I just got that out.
That didn't stop Farah's feet from moving to the music. She and other young patients at Cohen Children's Medical Center got a private show.
These kids they're not able to really go do anything else right now because they're sick, they're in the hospital. And just as I said, to see their smiles and just to see that made their day, it's amazing just to think that we're making their day, and this is something they can't have every day.
Dylan wants to make it big in the industry, I want to as well, and the main goal is to put smiles on people's faces, and we seem to be doing that, so I think we're doing okay.
All I need is a beauty and a beat.
It gets you choked up, I mean, quite honestly, to see him out there. He's very good at helping people be accepting of themselves and accepting of other people. He's really making a difference in the world.
This is who I am, and I really wouldn't want to change it.
The Brady Brothers may be just starting out, but they are well on their way to stardom. They already have close to 20,000 followers on Twitter. Up next, you could say he's a shoo-in as a hero. We'll tell you what one local teen is doing.
I would donate these shoes and hopefully get my other friends involved.
And later, chopping their hair for charity. We'll meet the girls who are doing just that. You're watching Heroes on Our Island.